Vashon Holdings proudly presents Warwick Radio Chats with ring announcer Joseph Herron.
Guys, welcome. Happy Friday to all of you guys. Woo! I tell you what, I'm in such a good mood, guys. And one of the reasons why I put on the Warwick Radio Chats, somber little ditty by my son's band Roshi, because if you're in the South Texas area, they've got a little free gig at 9 p.m. It's from 6 to 10. They're going on at 9. And it's today at Archie's Coffee Lounge on Huebner Road, 9630 Huebner Road, Suite 101. Yep, they're going to have a small hour set. And they're going to play all of their new songs from their, Disc Golf Honeymoon EP that was just released. Guys, please go subscribe and like and support my son's band, Roshi, Roshii, in which I'm sure you guys have already heard. All of the intro, I've used all the songs on the EP for various introductions for James Gogi, Rick Glazier, obviously the New Mexico song, which is my personal favorite, and then this one, which is called Depersonalization. But guys, enough about that. I'm going to be heading over there as soon as we're finished with this. But guys, we have a lot to discuss on this beautiful Friday, December 1st. And I couldn't do it without my brother, the always insightful, the prophet, Rodney Green. Rodney, how are you doing today, sir?
Yo, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Hey, we got some boxing tomorrow. And we have a few things to talk about. So, man, it's no complaints on this end. So let's get right to it, JoJo.
Oh, my gosh, dude. Guys, we warned you. And once again, if you think this is just accidental, all eyes were on these, are on these last two pay-per-views, right? Now, I'm not talking about Day Reckoning because that's going to tank in the States, guys. Because that's in one, during the day, Saudi Arabia, 2 days removed from Christmas. And amidst 7 free bowl games on ESPN and ABC all day, all night. So, yeah, we're not even looking at that right now, but we're looking at the 2 events that almost exclusively appealed to the diehard fans, and that's Benavidez Andrade, and then next Saturday, Haney versus Prograis. And if you think we're the only ones who are looking at this and the performance of these, well, you got another thing coming. This is going to largely determine the content from networks and promoters in 2024 and what networks are willing to invest in, right? And I'll tell you what, event number 1 has come and gone, and it's not good, guys. 60,000 pay-per-views. Now, once again, Kevin Iole, he didn't report this, but he told me around 50,000. And my guy told me, well, it's not good. It's way less than 100. That's all he told me. And Rick Glazier, and once again, his guy, it's an entertainment lawyer from the LA area. Yeah, he reported 60,000 purchases, which sounds about right. Rodney, can we safely say now that these hardcore, die-hard fans, so to speak, if you still want to call them that, are the culprit in stealing pretty much every event? Because correct me if I'm wrong, everyone saw it, everyone had an opinion of it, and went live immediately following the fight.
Piracy is the biggest issue in the sport of boxing right now. And it's really starting to erode and rob the sport financially and putting a lot of strain on the promoters, the fighters. And it's so unfortunate, though. It really is, though. Like I said, man, those numbers are very damaging. I can't expound enough how dreadful those are. And unfortunately, financial decisions have to be made because of those numbers. And it's a damn shame. It really is, man. And I feel bad for Benavidez. I feel bad for Andrade. Now, of course, it's not a total reflection on them with the piracy, but at the end of the day, when they go back to the negotiating table and they look at that, it's going to speak volumes. And just once again, like we've been saying, between inflated purses and piracy are the biggest culprits in the sport of boxing, and it strikes once again.
Yeah, look, the only reason why this was, guys, on pay-per-view, because I know that everyone was saying, yeah, this is a fight that shouldn't have been on pay-per-view. Yeah, 10 years ago in a much healthier era. You're right, it wouldn't. But that's not the era that we're living in. Yeah, that's like saying, hey, you know what? Tyson should be fighting for the heavyweight division. That's a different era. It's not going to happen, guys. Live in the now. Okay, what we're faced with now are terrible subscription numbers, terrible live viewer ratings, mixed with inflated purses from these entitled bitches. That's what we're faced with now. And, well, networks have no choice but to attach this to a pay-per-view revenue stream. What are we going to do? Would you rather them not fight? Well, that's what we're going to be faced with very soon, if everyone doesn't start just being honest with themselves. Now, it's shocking, Rodney. These guys are in denial. Now, it's hilarious. Michael Montero, in my opinion, the biggest culprit. He's defending this. Now, when the numbers came out from Rick Glazer, he said, yeah, put it on fights that no one is asking for and charging a pay-per-view premium for it. I'm sorry. Wasn't he a couple of years ago calling for Benavidez and Andrade both? Hey, instead of waiting for Canelo, why don't you just fight each other? Guess what? That's what they did. And you're saying that you never asked for it? Rodney, can you make it make sense, please?
You really can't, man, at this stage, though. You can't. I just think that until we realize that these are not pay-per-view fights, okay? They're just on the pay-per-view platform out of necessity, not by public demand. And once we're able to rationalize that, it'll really give us a pathway forward to really start refiguring the way these boxing matches are promoted, the platform they're placed on, and give everyone a dose of reality, including the fighters, because at the end of the day, like you said, make it make sense. Well, it has to start making financial sense. Now, I don't know what Benavidez' payday was, and I don't know what Andrade payday was, though. But with 60, 65K a 1,000 pay-per-view buys, it's not hard to tell that it went in the red pretty drastically, sir.
Yeah, look, and this is, once again, the diehard fans are in denial. He says, you know what? This is, once again, I'm going back to Montero. I had some words with him.
Wow.
Several choice words. And he goes, yeah, and charging people, it's simply not going to cut anymore. The track record is clear and the consumers have spoken, i.e. Showtime going out of business. Don't tell me I'm getting an $80 steak when you're really selling me a $10 burger. And I said, look, son, whether it's an $80 steak or a $10 burger, it doesn't matter, Montero, because you guys aren't paying for shit. You're right. The consumers have spoken. They stated very clearly, and everyone is listening, that you're not financially supporting your supposed favorite pastime any longer. You know what this idiot says? And once again, he was applauding when Elon Musk said, hey, you know what? You're trying to blackmail me with money? Hey, don't advertise. Don't advertise on X. Okay? Go F yourself. You're trying to blackmail me with money? Go F yourself. And this guy says, yeah, Elon is the hero we need right now. And I said, well, wait a minute. You're doing the same thing with promoters and networks, blackmailing these guys with money. Wow, you really showed Espinoza by not paying for Showtime. Now you're getting less TV dates in 2024. Hey, get ready for more Jake Paul type circus events Hey, and here comes Munguia on Cinco de Mayo weekend, you idiot.
Wow. Wow.
Dude, yeah, and he has the nerve to reply. He goes, hey, stop the cap. Fans spend literally millions of dollars a year here in the USA buying tickets to shows. No, dude, that has nothing to do with network money.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, oh, they spend millions subscribing to broadcast platforms. Obviously, they don't, which is why we're in this predicament. And he says they spend their money where and when they find value. And I said, look, don't even bring up live gates because it has absolutely nothing to do with network TV. And two, that's obviously not the case. You're in denial or full of shit. Numbers don't lie. And I'm going to read this last response from a fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now listen to this. These guys are in denial. It's crazy. He says piracy didn't affect the fights that fans actually did want, like Spence versus Bud, Tank versus Ryan. Piracy never affects Canelo's fights. And I said, it's a funny coincidence that you guys have a lot of mainstream and casual help with those events. Amazing how numbers are always dismal when events almost exclusively appeal to the die-hard fans. Boom! Rodney, I think it's unanimous. There's no denying this any longer. I got a call from someone who's going to remain nameless in the business when he found out about this, and he goes, dude, what are we going to do? These guys, the demographic that we could always rely on in the business, they're no longer financially supporting this product on TV or on any streaming platform.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do? I said, I don't know what you're going to do, brother, but I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be hosting a weigh-in in San Antonio, Texas at Dave & Buster's on December 8th. And I'm going to be calling a fight, live streaming all around the world for Pretty Boy, Rick Nunez Jr. I'll be fine. But what are we going to do as far as the elite level matchups on network TV? I don't know. You got to ask them. Got to ask the fans. You have to ask the fighters. Because correct me if I'm wrong, when is the last time we've seen a year like 2023 and it's not over? We're going to have a December that is fantastic on DAZN and on Showtime.
Yeah. Well, I think we have to understand. Here's two things, Joseph. As I always say, sometimes we can be a day late and a dollar short. Okay. Also, it's showing increasingly the lack of support in the United States as far as the consumer, as far as them purchasing boxing or supporting it. Even the diehards have said, you know what? Look, man, hey, I'm going to just talk about boxing. I'm going to critique it. I'm going to criticize it. I'm going to act insightful. I'm going to act like I'm the dearest fan. But ultimately, I'm going to stream it now. Okay. And come to a platform and give my opinion, whether it's via Facebook, via podcast, or whatever it is. And it appears it's no end in sight. Okay. It's no end in sight. And each time we get a pay-per-view, expect for this trend to continue.
Yep.
Because, as I said, so many factors, along with the economy, are going to continue to put this type of strain on the pay-per-view platform. And guys who want to be naive or show a level of naivete and not or just totally disregard, then that's okay. But as I said months ago, you got to destroy to rebuild. And I applaud what you're doing, what Rick Moronis is doing, what you have going on in December. You're working it from the bottom up. It's been top heavy for so long, but we got to start from the bottom because now it's starting to collapse.
Yep. And guys, we're going to go. There's a lot. And once again, I just have to laugh, guys. This has become a tired, rhetorical commentary from these assholes who are in denial. We would like to thank Hoodie AP, 60,000 purchases. And he goes, sheesh. Yeah. And want to thank our brother Outlaw, Jojo, and Hit Rod. Oh, no, he says, Hot Rod. Although after the last couple of weeks of your commentary, I'd say Hit Rod is about right. And want to welcome Hands of Stone. Yes, sir. Fight the good fight, Hands of Stone. I see you on Twitter, brother. And Hoodie AP says, do you think that boxing being so divided is what also makes piracy very hard to get rid of? Guys,
Absolutely.
Look, understand this. We work in a symbiont industry, okay, in which all of these platforms and promoters and fighters share the same fan base, just like the NFL, just like the NBA, regardless of who your favorite team is. Tune in, support. And if you don't, well, guess what that's going to result in? Lower numbers across the board, affecting. Now, Rodney, you're a businessman. You're a very successful entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. How does this affect your ability to get sponsorship?
Oh, my God. I mean, it's almost impossible because it doesn't make sense. You don't see a ROI. It's no real incentive. It's nothing to where you can even see a congruent growth pattern for both business parties. It's going to be very tough, man, if things continue at this juncture. Especially, that's what I said, man. A lot of decisions are going to be riding on the next 2 or 3 weeks. And these numbers, if I'm an executive, and that's what execs do, all we care is about, or investors, just show us the bottom line. Just show us the numbers. Anything that's hypothetical or what could be or what may be or the possibilities, show us the numbers at this current moment. And when we see that, well, it makes us want to kind of put our dollars somewhere else.
Well, I tell you what, I want to thank and commend this gentleman for having the stones to, come on this platform and regurgitate this same nonsense. Listen to this, Rodney. Montero exposed you. Diehard fans spend millions on the sport. Where?
Wow.
Where? Whoa. Pitbull. Where? I keep hearing that, but where are the numbers? Where are you spending millions? Now, if you're talking about the live gate and going and, dude, that has nothing to do with Showtime's investment. That has nothing to do with ESPN's investment. That has nothing to do with DAZN's investment. They get none of that. Okay, they get none of that. Now, let me ask you something, Rodney. Does Showtime, ESPN, or DAZN, do they get anything from the international licensing fees that are paid to show this in Mexico for free, in the UK for free? Do they get any of that?
Not at all.
And guess what? When Showtime, if they do make money and they cross that threshold that covers the big licensing fee, the guaranteed purses of the main event, guess how much they're only entitled to? 10%. Okay, because so something has to change. Someone has to start looking out for the network investment, or guess what? The lifeblood of this sport, TV dates, it's going to disappear. Guess what, guys? It's already starting. So Pitbull, show me where you guys spend millions on the sport, because that's empty rhetoric at this point. 60,000 purchases. Oh, we're spending millions. Where? You're stealing millions. I'm assuming you saw the show because you went live right after. How much money did you make on your monetized channel, you prick? So, hey, don't come over here with this empty bullshit, because I am armed. I've got both barrels pointed at you, brother, with the truth. You can't argue with the truth, son. So, hey, thanks for playing, Pitbull. I appreciate you coming on and letting me make an example out of your stupid ass. Thank you. So, Hoodie AP says, I decided to buy ESPN Plus just to find out that only Top Rank has fights on there. I didn't get that. But Yeah, they don't have anything scheduled for the rest of the year except for what is the lone event that they have? I'm not sure. But guys, we're going to talk about future dates in just a second. Gus, you've got the beat. Listen to this, Rodney. Why don't we just start paying these fighters what they deserve instead of inflated purses? And if they choose not to fight, then hey, they don't make any money. That's already started, my friend. Look at Teofimo Lopez. Go no further than him. We just talked about this, right?
Absolutely.
We just talked about this. And he says, I was fortunate enough to have the money to buy the fight, but in this economy after Thanksgiving and before Christmas, to make pay-per-view $80 is stupid. Look, guys, that's done out of necessity. Basically, the people who purchased this event, Rodney, myself, G Funky, right? Lee Cleveland of FightSaga.com, my brother. Okay, we all purchased this event. You. Basically, what it boils down to is you're paying for all of these assholes who choose to steal it. You're paying for them too, out of necessity. So, guys, fight the good fight with us. Shame these assholes. Tell them, look, guys, go watch the NFL then. We don't need you. Or, hey, go move to a sport that's more your speed, like women's tennis. Okay? And Charles, welcome to the show, sir. Just to be honest with you, I don't think anyone wanted to pay to see Andrade fight. No. But they wanted to see if Benavidez could be the first person to knock his ass out and send a statement to Canelo Alvarez. Let's just be honest here, guys. Rodney, your thoughts?
Well, absolutely, though. You know, we all want. I mean, usually, what made Floyd so successful is you paid to see him win or you paid to see him lose, but you paid. Okay, you paid, and it worked for him for years. Now, ultimately, no one never claimed Andrade to be a pay-per-view star. Okay,
nope.
Far from it. We all knew. I said it before. It all hinged on the support of Benavidez to where he could be the first one to knock out, and that the Mexican Americans or the Mexican community was going to vehemently support him and really rally behind him. Now, as I said, I think the gate did well. I think the attendance may, reflected that. But as far as individuals saying, hey, let's pay for it and support Benavidez and Andrade, it wasn't there. It wasn't there. And it's another black eye for the sport because, again, as I said, we are a sport without a consistent home now, a lot of uncertainties. And once again, man, businessmen, we don't care about all the behind the scenes or this, and that. We go by numbers and what have you done for me lately? And lately, it's been dreadful.
It's been really a no-show, guys. It's been a no-show. And once again, guys, it's not that difficult to understand. Let me explain it to you in regular programming situations, right? What's the now, once again, I am a subscriber now of Paramount Plus because, I still have Showtime. I want to see my brother, Dave Morrell Jr., compete on December 16th. Come on. Woo! I tell you what. And so I've been watching Yellowstone with Kevin Costner. How do you like that, guys? That's become one of my favorite series to watch now. It's on Paramount Plus. And because of this, I've become a fan. Guess what? It's a top-rated series on any streaming platform at this time. You look at the numbers, they get tens of millions of people tuning in, and they're, awaiting the new season to drop. Guess what? It's not behind a pay-per-view paywall because they've got tens of millions of viewers tuning in. That's it. It's for regular subscriber. And that's for a reason, because they've got viewers. Do you see how this works, guys? Game of Thrones, 5 years ago. Did you see HBO put that behind a pay-per-view paywall? No, because it had viewers. Guys, you've got to tune in. You've got to subscribe. What does my deal say right there? under Warwick Boxing. It says subscribe to ESPN Plus and DAZN. Guys, subscribe and tune in. Choose not to steal, because what's the alternative? We're going to lose TV dates. Okay? The Boxing Fan has the beat. It says Canelo will be the last pay-per-view star in this era of boxing where people steal pay-per-views. He's the most consistent pay-per-view guy to do over 400,000 each time. Look, guys, and that's because his mainstream and casual money-spending public, they don't steal it. They're happy to purchase it, and they rationalize purchasing it. Unlike diehard fans who consistently rationalize why they should steal it. Oh, we're just tired. We've had enough. Well, if you've had enough, guess what? You're really showing them your TV dates are disappearing by the month. Boy, you really showed them. These guys are really showing them, Rodney. Chingao, dude. Chingao. Good Lord, man. Kamikaze, welcome to the show, sir. He says, salute, gentlemen. Thank you for keeping me updated with the boxing news. Hope we get Canelo versus Benavidez next year. I hope so, too. Speaking of David Benavidez, we've got some news. Just so you guys don't think this entire show is gloom and doom. David Benavidez has stated that if rumors are indeed true, and sad to say, yes, they are, for Cinco de Mayo, he says, if the rumors are true, but that Canelo Alvarez versus Jamie Munguia is going to take place in Cinco de Mayo weekend, then I'm going to ask Al Heyman to put together a fight between me and Jamal Charlo at the same time so I can eliminate another potential opponent and give Canelo no choice but to face him in September. Now, you just spoke with Coach Ronnie Shields. What did he have to say about this?
Well, basically, Ronnie Shields says, you know what? Look, he's gonna have to wait in line. They've been clamoring for the fight with Canelo for quite some time, and they feel that they are in line and entitled to it as just as much as anybody else, though. So, good luck with that. And that's what I'm saying, man. A lot of politics are going to kind of play out, hopefully, in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, and we'll see exactly what some of these dominoes fall. But Canelo is the king, and hey, everybody wants a piece of him. But unfortunately, he's only going to fight or pick the ones that make sense, or the fact that they all have the same promotional outlet with Morrell, Benavidez, and Charlo. It's just, I mean, he can't fight everybody. Somebody's going to be left out in the cold, and we'll see. We'll see who will be left out in the cold.
Guys, I know for a fact that it's going to be Munguia. Team Reynoso, Team Canelo has already offered Jaime Munguia, from what I was told specifically, offered him $6 million. According to Eric Gomez of Golden Boy Promotions, he said, yep, we're going to take it. Jaime Munguia, that would be a career high payday. And look, we've reached the ceiling. It's time to roll the bones. It's time to sink or swim. We're fine with that. And I tell you what, it's going to result in a much more fan-friendly, exciting, entertainment-filled scrap than what we just saw with Jermell Charlo. Can you argue with any part of that, Rodney?
I can't, because at the end of the day, it has to make financial sense. Again, I think Munguia has reached his ceiling. He'll give a competitive fight, but he won't really cause a severe threat to Canelo. Canelo will eventually stop him and continue to keep his shine and keep his momentum going. And again, a $6 million payday. I mean, hey, that's probably all the money he's made almost probably in his whole career. I'm just being honest, man. That's a nice payday. So, I can see why they're going that way. From a matchup standpoint, I really don't really agree with it, but it makes business sense. And usually when it makes business sense, it makes dollars and cents. And that's the sense that, the promoters and the businessmen and the powers that be go with.
Yep. And guys, once again, here's a question. The boxing fan, thank you for sticking with us once again. He said, Joseph, where would that fight be? DAZN or Showtime? As of right now, I would say both. But guys, when you think about the prospect of Al Heyman striking a deal with Amazon Prime, which has 172 million members and subscribers throughout the American market alone, you would have to be a stupid individual not to put it on Amazon Prime, Rodney. Am I correct?
You have to, you would have to be. You really would, because as I said, man, Showtime after this month, I mean, this is it. And then, again, Gervonta Davis and Canelo Alvarez, I think, like you said, they still have some obligations as well. But Amazon is where I think you really want to be shooting at right now. You really want to be trying to place your bets and go towards Amazon if the stars can align. So we'll see. We'll see in the next 2 or 3 weeks what Amazon looks like as 2024 approaches.
Hey, brother, do you want to hear what the numbers were for Amazon Prime, Dallas Cowboys versus Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, what were they?
Oh, it was approaching 20 million viewers, sir.
See what I'm saying? And guess what? And guess what? That is a service that you have to pay for. Okay.
Yep.
Man, I never forget when Amazon, they first started this Thursday night, and I was like, man, whatever.
Another platform.
But then you don't watch football one week. But my Cowboys are playing next week. Hey, man, I gotta do what I gotta do. And man, I haven't looked back since. I look forward to Thursday night football on Amazon, though. So yes, Amazon is really providing a nice platform for the NFL, and hopefully it can do the same for boxing if the numbers can line up. We'll see.
That's it. I tell you what, so it makes things interesting. And right now, boxing fan, we cannot give you that projection. We'll find out more in the new year, okay? When that deal is announced, we want to welcome Alden Johnson to the show. Thank you for, even though he's got the Steelers moniker on his avatar. Boo. No, I'm just kidding, my brother. But Rodney and I are both Cowboys fans. And since we were kids, we haven't just disliked the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've loathed them. Okay. Yeah. If you show me a picture of Terry Bradshaw right now, I would probably spit on it. No, I'm kidding, guys. We're all fans. And once again, we can have our favorites, but do we still support the product? If the Steelers are playing the 49ers in the Super Bowl, are we not going to watch? Rodney?
Man, say it'll be a cold day in hell when I wouldn't watch it, okay? A cold day.
That's what I'm saying, guys. Every other fan base for every other major pastime in America, we all support our own. We support the product. Once again, I'm going to tell you the story, guys, every year. Every single year, when it's time for baseball season, April's coming around, it's March, and I start seeing ads for the extra innings package on my DirecTV. Guess what? I'm going to put my Ken Griffey Jr. jersey on. I'm going to put my Cincinnati Reds cap, and I'm going to gladly pay in 4 monthly installments for the extra innings package so I can see my Cincinnati Reds from San Antonio, Texas, every single game. And I'm happy to do it. Now, ask me how happy I am come August or September when they're out of contention. I don't care. I'm going to watch the first series, and I'm going to watch the last. Hallelujah, because I love me some Cincinnati Reds baseball. Here it is. Last question, boxing fan. It doesn't have to be the last question, my friend. Keep them coming. Says, Joseph, did you watch where Mauricio spoke to Benavidez. September is the date. Look, he's saying, can you actually wait for September before we actually lay down the gauntlet and mandate this fight? And why is he saying that? Well, because Jaime Munguia is very, very popular in his parts, his neck of the woods, which is Mexico, right? Keep in mind, guys, the WBC, they're based out of Mexico. They understand in Mexico, Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia is straight fire. And this is a very sellable fight down there, as well as the American market to the mainstream and casual audience. You've got the widely publicized falling out of Canelo versus Oscar. And then so you've got now the old protege of Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy, versus the new protege. Guys, if you handle this and promote this properly, this could approach 1 million purchases in the American market. Now, I know you guys don't want to hear that, but that's the reality. That's why this fight is being made. So does that guarantee that Benavidez is going to be the opponent in September? No. And here's why. Because Eric Gomez said, well, wait a minute. Doesn't PBC or Showtime or whoever's going to be distributing this fight, don't they have a say in who your opponent is? Eddie Reynoso said, no. That was one of the stipulations in our contract. We can fight whomever we want, and there's not a damn thing that they can say about it. So, Rodney, can Mauricio Suleiman guarantee a Benavidez opponent for Canelo Alvarez in September?
No, because what the verbiage in the contract stipulates. And if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the reasons why our boy Espinoza is not in good graces with the brass of, was that Viacom or CBS or Showtime, to where, because they feel like, you know what, he really didn't cover his bases when he was writing that contract, and it gave Canelo and them leverage to where they can dictate and pick and choose, and they're in more control.
There it is. There it is. There it is, guys. And Charles has the beat. Amazon would be great for boxing because most people already pay for Prime. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's it. Now, once again, promoters, networks, everyone involved within the American market with boxing, they're trying to figure out, how can we involve, how can we attract a larger mainstream and casual demographic? Because let's just face it, those are the only guys who are paying for the product at this time. There it is, guys. There it is. Chief Funky, welcome to the show, sir. I don't know what's going on with that. He says, no notification again. Well, thank you for joining us, sir. We appreciate you being here. And guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to G Funky Boxing. Our brother, you can hear him right here on Warwick Radio Network every Monday night on the Rick Glazer Show every Monday night. Thank you for being a part of the team, G Funky. We love you, my friend. Alden Johnson once again says, Rodney, I really do think this puts Crawford in the mix to fight Canelo. That's still the biggest fight right there. Crawford, USA, Canelo, Mexico, two of the best in boxing right now for sure. 60,000 is not good at all.
Well, here's
Rodney,
the thing.
But you stated something that was very, very insightful on Wednesday night. Would you like to repeat that, sir?
Yes, sir. Here's the thing, Mr. Johnson. And man, I thank you and appreciate you for chiming in and joining us today. Financially, it makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world. But you got to understand, if I'm Terrence Crawford, you know, hey, he has pride too. And we're asking him to come up from 147 to fight Canelo at 168. So, Mr. Johnson, you remember when Amir Khan fought Canelo and he got knocked out? He was never the same. He was never the same. His career was pretty much done after that fight. Now, as I said, money talks. Now, if you want me to come up there 3 weight classes and have the cards stacked in your favor, you're going to have to make it really make sense for me to do it because, again, I possibly lose my leverage, my pound for pound status. I lose my mystique. Everything about me is gone. So in order for me to risk that, it's going to have to make financial sense for me to do that because Canelo, he's going to want the lion's share of the purse, and he's going to want Terrence to come up from 147 to 168. No catch weights, no in between. And man, that's asking a lot of Terrence Crawford, in my opinion.
Yep, guys, and I love the way your brain works, Rodney. You know, it's hilarious, though. If you thought Crawford, if you, once again, how much is he going to demand from Canelo Alvarez to jump up those weight divisions and fight the Goliath of 168 after demanding $22 million for a match of square off with Spence for undisputed at 47? How much do you think he's going to demand? And what do you think Canelo's going to say? Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. So, guys, now compare this to a fight with Benavidez in September. Here's your silver lining, guys. He's going to put all kinds of weight restrictions. He's going to be defending his IBF title, which clearly states, hey, you know what? You cannot weigh in more than 10 pounds over the weight limit the day of the fight. And guess what? I'm going to offer you the bargain basement purse of 10% while I get 90. How do you like that? Take it or leave it, Benavidez. So he can have his way financially on the negotiating table, in the war room with David Benavidez. Can he have his way with Terrence Crawford, Rodney?
Not going to happen. Because guess what? Terrence Crawford, a very prideful man, regarded as pound for pound, the top fighter in the world, just came off a nice payday. And, you know, he's just going to have some say in the negotiating room. And I think it's going to be a nightmare for Team Canelo and Reynoso and everybody else. And sometimes you can offer somebody something like for Munguia, that's a hell of a deal for Munguia of what he, I mean, hey, biggest payday ever, probably the biggest payday he'll ever get. But Terrence Crawford, well, again, he's fighting for $20 million paydays, but he's also fighting for his legacy as well, too. His undefeated record means something to him, okay? It really does. He's worked hard for it, and he's not going to just let it go by putting himself at an extreme disadvantage going up 3 weight classes.
Well, I tell you what, want to give a big shout out to our brother Sly Tendencies.
What up?
Thank you for always being a part of the family, brother, and thank you for being a part of the show. We love your commentary, and we love reading your comments in the chat. Thank you for being here, my friend. Alden Johnson, we appreciate, once again, you being here, and we always love your commentary as well. But I think it's a bit of wishful thinking. I think Bud will work with Canelo, and he'll respect Canelo. He knows Canelo's been on top for a long time. But Crawford always felt the same way about that. To Bud, he deserves the fight, but work with Nello. Look, like I said, if he began negotiations with Al Heyman, Steven Espinosa, and Errol Spence Jr., if he began negotiations at $22 million, what do you think he's going to start with against Canelo Alvarez? Get the F out of here, man. But thank you, Alden. We appreciate it. Well, look. Look, either way, Canelo's in the driver's seat, guys. He's the one who has the final say. Not Amazon, not Al Heyman, not Samson Lukowitz, not David Benavidez, not Terrence Crawford, not anybody. It's Canelo's date. Canelo has the Mexican dates, Cinco de Mayo and September Mexican Independence. Hashface Boxing has the beat. Regis Prograis said after this fight, they're going to have to add zeros to his check, and he's already getting overpaid. These fighters need to wake up or retire. Guys, truer words were never spoken. Thank you, Hashface, for that. That is right on the money, my friend. Guys, we're already 46 minutes in. We don't want to take up all of Rodney's afternoon, although I'm having a lot of fun today. So, guys, we promised you yesterday on Twitter. I said, guys, buckle up. We're going to give you our sexy bet of the week. And if you took advantage of our sexy bet last week, boy, you made plus 1,100 odds. Guys, we've got something in store for you. And obviously, let's go to, oh boy, here it is. Oscar Duarte. And Ryan Garcia just weighed in today. And look, here's another thing. Why is everyone belly aching about, why was this elevated to 143-pound catch weight? What's going on here? And why weren't we told? Guys, because it's of no consequence. This is not for a title. This is the comeback fight of Ryan Garcia. He's the big draw. He calls the shots. If Oscar Duarte doesn't like it, he can always, step aside. So today on the scale in Houston, Texas, at the Toyota Center, downtown Houston, Ryan Garcia weighed in at approximately 143 pounds. Oscar Duarte weighed in at 142.8 and looked very strong. Very, very strong. But this is his first fight above 135 pounds. Ryan Garcia, this will be his second fight at least 140 and above. Now, keep in mind, he also, for Emmanuel Tego, fought at 139. He fought against, who's the southpaw from, Dominican Republic?
Yeah.
He fought him at 140.
Mhm.
He fought Tank Davis at 136. Guys, this is the Ryan show. So what do you expect to see, Rodney, tomorrow?
I mean, I look for Ryan to have a solid, explosive performance. I think Duarte is tailor-made for him. I really do. I suspect he should win in knockout fashion.
Yep.
But, Duarte, he looked pretty strong, though. He did look pretty strong. And it may take him a little while for him to get him out of there. But I think ultimately he will dispatch him, though. I really do.
Guys, so our War Week Radio, War Week Boxing Sexy Bet of the Week. We've got the strategy for you. We're giving 50% down on a Ryan Garcia group round bet of rounds 1 through 3. Ryan Garcia knockout yields once again a plus 1,100. Now, once again, we've got a strategy. Here's your safety net. Ryan Garcia round group bet straddled with another 50% of whatever you're going to wager in rounds 4 through 6. That still yields a plus 450. Guys, you can't lose. That is our War a Week Boxing Sexy Bet of the Week. How do you like that, Rodney?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Woo! So, guys, once again, we're riding the wave. We want to make it 2 for 2 in 2 consecutive weeks. Woo! I tell you what. We want to welcome Rodney Evans to the show, a.k.a. Hot Rod.
What's up, Evans?
How you doing, brother? He says, yo, Joe, I don't understand. Can you enlighten me, please, sir? How can a fighter duck another fighter? Oh, geez. When the fighter they so-called ducked hasn't even fought a former world champion. Look, brother. Make no mistake of this, and we profess this all the time. Within the business of boxing, ducking is merely a fan-driven concept that doesn't exist within this business. Okay? These guys are fearless. If you take any fighter, even at the club level, you give him career life-changing money, a career high payday, he would step in the ring with Godzilla tomorrow if it meant making that kind of payday. Okay? So there is no ducking, guys. It's risk versus reward. Now, I'll give you a scenario. Say this 60,000 pay-per-view. Well, it just means that, well, it's not a hot matchup, guys. Quality of opposition matters. There is such a demand for Benavidez, Canelo. It's undeniable at this point, guys. That's a hot fight. That's a hot matchup. Case in point, let's go back to Golovkin versus Lemieux. How did that do on pay-per-view? Rodney? Did about 97,000 purchases on HBO.
Yeah.
What was his next fight? Canelo versus Golovkin. How did that do? 1.3 million. Okay, guys, so you can't just look at this pay-per-view and underestimate the value of that red-hot matchup, right? But I will say this. How much do you think Canelo versus Jermall Charlo, the brother defending the family's honor, the tougher, the bigger Charlo, and how much risk would it be compared to a Benavidez matchup? Would it still yield comparable pay-per-view sales?
Well, here's the thing. Again, even if it doesn't yield the comparable sales, the risk is not there.
Yep.
And financially, again,
Canelo's still going to get paid.
So, you got to look at it that way. I mean, and again, guys need to understand this too, man. I don't like this theory, but I'm just giving you the likelihood of what may transpire or play out. But make no mistake about it, the demand for Benavidez and Canelo is there. It just has to line up correctly for it to happen. And hopefully, we can all hope it will happen sooner than later. And I'm going to try to continue to, be positive about that.
Well, guys, and I'm glad you offered that disclaimer because, guys, do we want on War Week Boxing? No, once again, our only bias is the health of the sport. If it's good for the health of boxing, we are overwhelmingly, wholeheartedly for it. If it's bad for the health of the sport, like inflated purses or piracy, then we're very outspokenly against it. That's where it ends. Everything else really doesn't matter to us, does it, Rodney? But I can safely say that both Rodney and I, as well as everyone on this channel, with the exception of Coach Ronnie Shields, we all want to see Canelo versus Benavidez. Am I wrong about that, Rodney?
Hey, that's who I want to see. That's who I want to see.
That's it, guys. So make no mistake about it, guys. We want to see that fight, and we're hoping that it comes to fruition in September. Make no mistake about it. But would I be happy for my brother Ronnie Shields if he got that assignment in September instead? Yep, I sure would be. But would it be better for the health of the sport to get Benavidez? Hell yes. Hell yes, guys. We want what's best for the health of the sport. Rodney Evans, once again, thank you for these nuggets. Joe and Rodney, I find it funny how everyone has an opinion on Benavidez versus Boo-Boo Andrade, but it only did 6,000 pay-per-view buys. Once again, guys, we're not speaking Mandarin Chinese. It's very clear to everyone who's not in denial. Piracy is killing this sport within the U.S. market. Hashface Boxing, this is why we gave you our sexy bet, sir. Duarte looks like he has bicep implants. Everyone notice how weird his arms look? Looks strong, though. Yes, sir. But what comes with big muscles, Rodney? Lack of speed. Lack of speed. Guess what? Guess who doesn't have a lack of speed, Rodney?
Exactly.
Garcia's going to bust him up. In the immortal words of Mickey Goldmill of Rocky fame, he's going to knock you into Tomorrow Rock. Woo! Tell you what, Alden Johnson has the beat. He says, this guy, Ryan Garcia, fighting might be a sleeper fighter. De La Hoya and B-Hop put together. But Ryan said he wanted to fight this guy. Kid got heart. Big respects to Ryan Garcia for this fight. Yes, sir. We want to go to our first super chat. Thank you, Sly, for the $5 super chat, sir. He says, Ryan's okay, But why is he acting like such a baby with Oscar and Bernard? Those two don't seem like the kind of guys to kiss ass. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. That brings us into our next segment. Oh, boy. Thank you for the super chat, Slime. We love you on the show, brother. Thank you for being a part of the family. Rodney, did you see how shameful the press conference was at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas?
Yeah. And as if you want to go back to a few shows, we spoke on this, how Ryan has become disenchanted with the Golden Boy brass. I think that it has really soured and is beyond repair. Now, fortunately for Golden Boy, he is obligated under contract, and but at this point, I don't think they're going to be able to, really right the ship. I think they both have a disdain toward one another now, and continues to sour. And Ryan, again, man, he should just be focused on redeeming himself after he was knocked out and basically quit against Tank Davis, and put himself back in the upper echelon of top young fighters, man, to where he can still, be a flag bearer or a torch holder with the new generation. But, he's made it crystal clear he doesn't like Oscar. He doesn't like Golden Boy. He has his own team. He has his own advisors that he's listening to.
Oh,
And
geez.
the energy doesn't lie. When they're in the
Yep.
room, you can tell it's bad blood there, and they're feuding.
Yep. And this is what Oscar had to publicly state on Twitter after this. He said, I have to say that I'm really concerned about Ryan Garcia's state of mind, considering his history of mental instability, which he's documented himself. His current erratic behavior shows that he's clearly not focused on Saturday's fight. He won't take my calls. Ryan, I hope you're okay. And this is what I stated. Oscar, this is attack of the urban advisors. Once again, it's becoming an epidemic on every level within this business. If you're that miserable, Ryan, then you, Teofimo, Shakur, and Bud Crawford should go get your own TV dates, go sell your own tickets, go organize your own events, go distribute your own pay-per-views, because boxing does not need you. That was my 2 cents. What are your thoughts, Rodney?
Yeah, I think these prima donnas need to go away. I really do. I think they're, causing more harm than good for the sport. They're keeping the sport stagnant. They're creating an environment of entitlement, selfishness, pretty much F you, the promoter, even though I came to you in the beginning and you gave me a shot, you gave me a chance, you gave me an opportunity. Now it's all about, what, fuck you, kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck about you anymore. And it's across the board, not just Ryan. We can just look at across the board, and it's happening more and more and more. It's a cancer that has spread it, and that's why I say we have to destroy to rebuild, and that's what it's going to take. And to rebuild, we have to get rid of this, selfish-like attitude for so many of these young fighters who feel entitled to everything, not just the paydays. You know what? Everything. They want it their way, and it's just a bad recipe for disaster for the sport.
And there it is. Guys, true words were never spoken. Thank you for that commentary, Rodney. I'll tell you what, man. Tell you what, that is the gospel, according to Rodney Green. You know what? And for this super chat, we'll give you 2 big bonus comments. Ryan seems like the guy who likes being surrounded by yes men. Yes, sir. Now, here's the big one. Thank you, Sly. In caps, boxing doesn't need this stupid shit. Grow up, Ryan. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Uh-oh. Rodney says this. Thank you, a.k.a. Hot Rod. He says, I don't know why y'all so high on Subriel Matias. I don't get it. But, hey, we'll see, though. And Hashface says, Matias is a monster. Wait a minute. Didn't we just see him fight, Rodney? When did he fight? When was the last time we saw him fight?
Saturday.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, hold on. Listen to this. Oh, boy. This is, once again, I'm going back to this conversation I had on Twitter with Michael Montero. He goes, you know what? It's not like we used to. Illegal streaming is part of it, but fight cards that aren't stacked is another reason. If you're going to charge $80, that card had better be stacked from top to bottom. Wow. Rodney, am I living in like fantasy land, or was that card stacked from top to bottom?
And that was a good card Saturday, man. That was a very entertaining, good card, and I had no problem paying $80 for it. I really didn't, though.
So what are these guys talking about? It's become empty rhetoric. Yeah. Once again, guilty dog barks the loudest. Hey, if it doesn't apply to you, why are you so outspoken about it? You dipshit. So anyway, Michael Montero said, look, this is odd because War Week's takes on other issues are solid. Literally 99% of boxing fans disagree with him on this, yet he continues to double down. You just said it. It's odd because his takes on other issues are solid. Maybe I'm right again, Montero. Maybe I'm right again. Chingao, what is the matter with this dude? Like, seriously, what is the matter? Like, guys, I've got the truth on my side. It all makes sense. I'm connecting the dots and formulating the right picture. Okay? You show me some evidence where these guys are consistently tuning in. I've got the numbers to support my theory, and it's not a theory. It's reality, guys. Wake up, look in the mirror, and be accountable. Own this shit, because that's the only way things are going to change, if you own it. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. Oh, ching out. But going back to this, brother, I'm going to go back to Hashface Boxing because I need to get your thoughts once again on Subriel Matias. In your opinion, Rodney, does the winner of Haney Prograis throw down with Subriel Matias after his amazing showing, beating down an undefeated puncher like Shoshan Ergashev this past Saturday?
Well, here's the thing, and this is all that needs to be said. Devin Haney has already decided he's going to vacate all the belts at 140 and go to 147. Now, Prograis, what did he just say? In order for his next fight, you're going to have to put more zeros down. That basically eliminates either one of them fighting Matias. And that's all you need to know right there.
Yeah.
All you need to know.
Like I said, my man, love the way your brain works. Oh, Chingao. I tell you what, guys, though, we look forward to a great end of the year. Great end of the year. And yeah, this is by design, brother. Nobody at 480 even mentions Matias. I wonder why. Would you address the elephant in the room if he could whoop your ass, Rodney?
Shit, no. Hell no.
And Charles has the beats. I hope we see Boots versus Haney at 47. Come on. Let's bring it. Hey, Haney, don't sing it. Bring it. But you got to get past Prograis first, brother. Rodney, obviously, we're going to get to our big fight preview next week at this time. Exactly after the weigh-in. What else do we have to go over? We already went over the Teofimo Lopez shtick ad nauseum. We're already in 65, 66 minutes in. Do you want to call it a day and just, look forward to a great evening of boxing tomorrow night from Houston, Texas?
Yeah, we're going to call it a day. We want everybody to tune in tomorrow. And again, Sunday night, Joe will be back. Go over the show, get you guys thoughts, and I'll be back next weekend with a lot to say. So again, man, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Much love. Man, thank you for the support. We'll see y'all soon. 2023 is almost over. Let's end the year out on the bang. W.A.W Radio, I am out.
Guys, on behalf of the incomparable Rodney Green, I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to W.A.W Boxing. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Vashon Holdings proudly presents War Week Radio Chats with ring announcer Joseph Herron.